All right, welcome back. All right, so talking about this second cup here, but what we really need to really talk about here is the double. We've got some really interesting connections that can be made with this double that should really open your eyes to the connection with New York City and these symbols and what really this is all about on a macro scale. On a macro scale, my friends. Now, I'm just going to run through this real quick, but what I have to say is important, so I'm going to take as much time as it needs to say it. Chapter 18 is going to be the telling of the first cup event, which you all know of as the World Trade Centers that have come down. Okay, the World Trade Center, plane crash or bombings, however you want to see it. Chapter 18 is all about that. Now, what's immediately important for us is to understand this verse right here, chapter 6. And it is the one where we get the double cup from. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Now look, this is getting ready to go a lot deeper than any of you have heard me go thus far. So this is not what you normally hear from me. This is going to go a lot deeper, and it's going to make a better connection. But before I begin, I want to talk for those who don't understand what's happening here. Look at verse 8, and you'll see that this is a great description of the event that took place on 9/11. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. So we understand that these towers came down within one day, and that this event was basically symbolized best with fire. These buildings burned to the ground. Now, as we see here, we get a description of the smoke of her burning. Now, everybody can remember the picture of the two towers just flaming like candles burning in the wind. And then we see here in verse 10, it's talking about the kings of the earth that are witnessing her, and they're upset that she is going down. And it says, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Now we know that within 1 hour, 2 planes or supposed planes hit those towers within 1 hour. So we have a fulfillment just within these few lines here, but to take it further, we understand here that the whole event is taking place around a place of trade and commerce, and it's all about the merchants and the merchandise that is being traded there, and it gives you an incredible list of description: linen, silk, wood, marble, okay, all the way through. And then more description all the way down to the very souls of men that were traded there. So as we can see, as you come all the way down here, more of a description, you'll have to read it for yourself in your own time, of the towers. And then I want you to look at verse 19. And it says, and they cast dust on their heads, and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Now you have to think about the news reports and the news stories that were filming those people that were literally weeping in the streets, covered with that dust from head to toe. And that is an incredible vision that this prophet has seen from the past that has occurred in our time. Just absolutely incredible. So go over this in your own time, and keep in mind what you're witnessing is the first event of the first cup. The second event takes place here, which times up with chapter 13, verse 13, and this is the millstone. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. Now this is going to be the total destruction of Babylon. Now it hasn't happened yet. This is what that one is going to letteth happen. We'll talk more.